Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and welcome to another late night AMA. It's actually midnight Eastern time, but it's still a little bit earlier here. And with my weird sleeping schedule lately, I got up, I did my my exclusive on time today over at the Rockfin. I hope you guys are enjoying the content there. We ended up bringing that over. We did another video, but a lot of other news has happened today that I haven't covered yet. We're going to go over some of the stuff we've already gone over today, but in conjunction with some news stories, okay? And on top of that, we're going to take your questions and comments. You know how we do it, so get them in now. So revving up for this broadcast, what are we going to be talking about? Well, the Biden administration has now made it official. They will still be trying to extradite Assange. Now, I want you to think about this. Remember, all this talk that, this extradition process was to save the world and that Trump was going to bring him in and that's where, he'd really have the deep state by the Johnny nonsense was Johnny nonsense. Okay? Think about that. And that narrative, there were people literally, and I'm talking about while we were at the Capitol the last time, the last time, where Andrew from Action for Assange had on his Guy Fawkes mask and was handing out flyers about Action for Assange and the Free Assange movement and why it's important and why press freedom is important and why this is completely illegal and it's abhorrent and we're torturing this guy overseas based on false indictments that have no relevancy whatsoever and are embedded in lies. And there were people there that already thought that he was safe and don't worry, everything's okay. And that shows the diluted nature of some people who want to believe in false narratives and how those false narratives are effective in creating a mythos about really inaction or the wrong kind of action. Because, hey, they'll get up, they'll go to a rally, but they won't go to a rally for Assange. Okay, so the Biden administration, I don't know if they told Joe about it. I don't know if Joe signed some paperwork and he asked what he was signing or he took a stick. Who knows what's going on here other than the fact that they will continue to pursue Assange. And now that Biden is in there will be even less mainstream press coverage. There will be even less mainstream press coverage. We're also going to hit up some more vaccine news, what we can say here, what we can't say. After all, there's certain things you can't say about COVID-1984 on Facebook, for instance. You can no longer say that you think this is something that was created in a lab, whether or not it's a bioweapon or perhaps, as people have speculated, a bioagent that was going to be used in the creation of a vaccine, et cetera, et cetera. So any mention of biological experimentation and warfare outside of a laboratory anywhere is probably not going to be able to be talked about. Bioweapons don't exist. They haven't existed for 30 years. Really more than 30 years. I'm talking about mainline papers talking about them as useful weapons. Okay? That's been around for 30 plus years. Again, go back. Check out things done by Andy Jacobson. Check out what they used to do with the Department of Energy and testing on soldiers just through that, what we know about. The stuff that was declassified during the Clinton era. But no, there's no biological warfare. And now Facebook's in the good fight. They're going to battle all this. We're going to be going over that. We're going to be talking about this crazy blood disorder that, believe it or not, is fatal in some cases. Yikes. That 36 people in the same facility have now magically developed after taking their boop, huh? A little boopity boop. And now you got something that's terrible, maybe forever, but it's inconclusive. We'll get to all that. Probably won't be able to talk about that soon. And then we're going to talk about something that kind of dovetails with Assange and this idea that now, if you're for the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, a free press, because now it's not just libertarians. I'm now seeing it pivot, right? Because guys like me, I'm no libertarian. I'm certainly not a libertarian or an anarcho-capitalist or any of that stuff. I'm a constitutionalist. We better put you in the mix, domestic terror man. That's right, domestic terror man. So let's do it. Let's start going over it. Before we do, thumbs the video up, subscribe, and share. Remember, we are fully demonetized on this platform over at the YouTubeage. And if you can, guys, hit it. The Go Get funding is down below. There's also a couple of crypto addresses. Crypto running wild right now. Bitcoin looking to maybe even pierce that 50K mark. If Bitcoin pierces the 50K mark, you can pretty much forget that Ether's going to hit the 2K mark. Watch it to possibly even hit the 3K mark. I am giving no financial advice. I'm just looking at the market and seeing what's happening there. So right now I'm just saying crypto on fire. There's some interesting articles I may go over later in the week that I've been reading up on crypto. Now the madness is here. Like I said, thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. We do it several times a day here at the Burmese Brigade. If you are new, we do deep dives. We do watch-alongs. We do Ask Me Anythings, okay? And I got to get back more into the deep dive mode. A lot on my mind. I don't know. You know, I know this is like my third video of today, but I remember the days where I was cranking out 5 to 7, no problem. I know a lot of you miss those days. I'm going to try to bring those days back. I'm going to try to bring those days back in multitudes with even more content. But right now, I'm just kind of working the logistics out in my head, and I'm not going to lie. I watch a lot of this stuff. It's like I'm watching today. Do I cover the impeachment? You know, I see that Crowder's doing a watch along. I tune into that. I tune into the raw stuff. It's just depressing. There's only so much of the same repetitious propaganda I can hear again and again and again and cover again and again and again before it almost beats me down mentally. So I try to go across the board, and then whatever I feel like is the most important, at least hit those topics. But I often fail at that even. Rockfin. If you haven't moved over to Rockfin and made the free account, what are you waiting for? We're going to be live again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be on Ben Swan's podcast, and I'm not sure whether it goes on RT or not, but we're going to be talking about the impeachment trial. We're going to talk about the implications. We're going to talk about Trump. And that's going to be on Friday. And I believe I have another podcast I'm doing Thursday as well. I've got a couple of interviews that I'm also lining up. And Dan Dix should be coming on this week to talk about the reinstatement of his YouTube channel. But again, can I afford to be deplatformed forever or 7 months or whatever happened to him? Come on over to Rockfin, make the free account at least. And then if you want to, you can support me. The premium account gets you access to everybody. So it's like a Netflix for creators, $9.99 a month. Odyssey has backed it all up. They've backed it on up. So they've got them all. So that's another way that you can find my information, but not the Rockfin exclusive. So you want those Rockfin. Let's do it. Biden administration plans to continue to seek extradition of WikiLeaks Assange. It's official. No kidding. No kidding that the Justice Department is going to continue to go after. Remember the document I used to go over? Counterintelligence 2020 to 2022? With or without the Trump administration? Right there, they were laying it on the line that you were the domestic terrorist. Ideologically motivated individuals right up there with Hezbollah, with Al-Qaeda, with ISIS, with North Korea, with Iran. And now you got people saying it on TV. So if you thought that the Biden administration, yes, the senile old man puppet that struggles to get, a 30 to 90 second take in for some pre-produced propaganda garbage. You thought that guy who now has D.C. under military lockdown at the Capitol with fences and troops wasn't going to go after Assange? Man, I don't know. Are you rocking a Care Bear at bed? Like you got Cabbage Patch dolls you go to bed with? And I know I'm going back to the 80s, baby, but you must be, sucking on some special Kool-Aid. You got a Teddy Ruxpin in there? I mean, is there a tape that you put into Teddy that lets you know everything's going to be okay and he's going to be your friend? You got a My Buddy doll? What's going on? It's like almost like Silence of the Lambs level psychosis. Buffalo Bill style. Okay? You are putting the literal media lotion on the skin in a hole that you've dug for yourself. And you might get the hose again. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So why am I bringing this up? This is a news story. I'll probably end up doing a full one on this. Missing explosives from 29 Palms Marine Base under investigation. Now, as everything ramps up, as the chaos continues, as the legitimacy of this administration continues to be questioned by people, domestic terror is on the rise. White supremacy is on the rise, according to Joe Biden. You can watch his inauguration speech, according to the mainstream media. All you need to do is right now hit a little pause on the Jason Burmis. You don't want to really do that. But then just head over to MSNBC, CNN, BBC networks are reporting it. Fox News is rolling with it. It's all the same. It's different flavors of regurgitated garbage. And now we've got missing explosives. And we've already got this narrative that certain members of our military can't be trusted. We've already got this narrative that these militia groups are going to work with anybody to do this. So, all I'm saying is you might want to check out some Whitney Webb. And this really does play into that narrative. I'm not saying something could happen. But you got to look at even provocateur instances and the history of terrorism in the United States on a smaller scale with just, one explosive attack, 93 World Trade Center bombing, Oklahoma City bombing. Go watch Invisible Empire and New World Order Defined. Okay, it's free right here, right now. We haven't plugged the movies in a while. They're in the documentary section. I cover both those. And if you don't think that could happen again with the narratives that are being pushed by scumbags like John Brennan, I don't know what to tell you. So we mentioned that the WHO has now said, you know what, we love China. It did not leak from the Wuhan lab. In fact, we don't think it's a biologically created agent at all. Stop asking questions. And now, since the United Nations and the World Health Organization are literally the deities upon which we praise and we give our bodies over and we give our minds over and we censor anyone who questions or not only questions, calls them outright liars and then contradicts their information. Anybody there? Deplatformed. Gone. Banned. Warning. Misinformation. Fact check. We're here. We're here, baby. The screen watches you. Okay? No. No, we're going to investigate whether it came from imported frozen meat. That's the theory that I've been rolling with. Not the bat, not the pangolin, not that Randy Marsh reached into the Alterverse from South Park and spread it through sex with each animal on the market. None of that. No. Frozen meat. Imported frozen meat. That's the one. That's the one we're going to investigate. God bless those people at the WHO. So as that comes in, Facebook says, you know what? Let's crack down on that misinformation that coronavirus might be man-made. I am so glad that Mark Zuckerberg and his crack team of scientists, and biologists have done the extensive study and put it out there for the world to see that no major government has. What the fluckle-schnuck? A lot of people wonder why I have like a fan page over on Facebook, and one of my buddies was complaining that, can't you just make a fan page that you get rid of all these people? Listen, man, I know Facebook's trash. It's garbage. I don't even use it. I realize that if I put up my videos, if I live streamed my videos, how many times would they get fact-checked and flagged? How long would I last on that platform? So I just keep to myself on there. I occasionally post a link to one of my videos. I don't stream there. I post mostly mainstream stuff. I don't really give a lot of my family information. And there's reasons for that. It's because they're going to crack down on the idea that, COVID might not be from a bat, pangolin, some frozen meat. I mean, we're here, baby. You know what I'm saying here. So, that being said, I can't play this. This is going to be, at least excerpts of it. I believe the guy's name is James Devlin. Okay, he's a nursing home worker. And I'm just going to say you're going to want to watch this. I can't really say anything that he says on here. I don't work there. But it's not good things. It's not things in line that say, take the boop boop. I'll tell you that. It's in lines that says maybe you don't want the boop boop booparoo. And the way this man is very emotional in the beginning, and not only that, talking about his faith. Again, I'm not a preacher. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. But I do find it hypocritical when, people identify as a Christian and won't come and speak out of some of these atrocities. And he talks about that. He talks about how could you live with yourself. And what I dislike even more is those that would just dismiss him outright because he is a Christian, because they think they're intellectually superior. Oh, you're a Christian? He believes in religion. He believes in the magic man in the sky. I must be smarter than him. I believe in science and Charles Darwin and social Darwinism ultimately and the earth. Okay, well, you can have those beliefs, but this guy's got a first-hand account that should be chilling. I mean, when you got 70-year-old men collapsing and dying within 45 minutes of taking a vaccination in New York, and it's not headlines everywhere. Instead, you're going to local media to find out about it. Or, for instance, I don't know, 36 people develop a blood disorder and a doctor dies after receiving the Pfizer or Moderna COVID vaccines. And this is called, by the way, but again, we don't know if it's linked. It's called thrombocytopenia. I don't even want to butcher it again. But it's also known as ITP, okay? And it is not good news. Again, chronic. Oh, medications, infections, okay. Immune disorders, lymphomas, leukemias, abnormal antibodies, wow. So terrible. Purple color of the skin, red dots, okay. Nose bleeds, bleeding from the mouth, okay. Yep. In and around the gums, great. Oh, blood in their vomit, urine, stool, bleeding in the head, no biggie. Is that the most dangerous symptom? This should be everywhere. You know what it is? And by the way, we covered this doctor that passed away. He's not the first health professional. We've covered others that actually died. Okay, but again, it's inconclusive. The good people at Facebook, in conjunction with Fox and CNN, are going to get to the bottom of this. I guarantee it. And maybe they'll look in some frozen meat for the answers. And this is why we need a whole new internet, man. And I've talked about this. We need a whole new internet. This one is done. We need a real decentralized one. And one of the actual inventors, not Al Gore, surprisingly, Al Gore hasn't called for this. He says, we need to fix this. This is not what we intended. We are literally, in the era where information is being oppressed, suppressed, and dominated by a false narrative. Okay. I do want to remind everybody that what we're going to do, we will use the Go Get Funding as a super chat mechanism, but as of now, I didn't realize that came from my cousin. Well, look at her. I'm going to have to thank her for that, for throwing me a little bit. Love you, cuz. But we've got no other mentions in there. And I want to thank everybody that's tipped through Rockfin. That's a big deal. And again, we do have one. We do have one. Let's see. Let's read it. Oh, let's read that one. And then we're going to get to you guys. Thumbs the video up, by the way. Can we get 100 thumbs? I have been following you on Rockfin for a week now, and I think I'm ready to make the contribution. Thanks for your skepticism and factual research. See you on the flip. Well, thank you, Michael. We appreciate you, sir. We appreciate you. Okay. All right. We got some hellos in there. Lots of hellos. Good night. Yes, good day and good night. And Rockfin. Never Sleep Again. Is this Nightmare on Elm Street 2021? In fact, now's the time to make that. In fact, they need to make Nightmare on Elm Street like the 2020 version. And like Freddie, I don't know, somehow Freddie has to be responsible for the outbreak in Wuhan. So it's not a biological agent from a lab, and it's not a pangolin or a bat or frozen meat. It's actually Freddy Krueger in conjunction with the deep state and the CCP and magic. Demonic magic. I wonder if that's going to get a fact check. Jason Burmis believes COVID from Freddy Krueger, magic in the CCP. Oh, boy. We need a pole shift. Yeah, a lot of people thought that was going to happen in a manner that was going to shift the earth. I saw a lot of that grifting. That 2012 grifting into 2020 grifting, and there'll be more grifting. You'll see. More Mayan grifting. You'll see. I warned people for years, post loose change, 2005, 2006, that was a huge not going to happen. Even a guy that worked for me on Invisible Empire, where, he did a lot of great work. He was convinced, man. But those are the people that believed in John Titor and time travel. And ultimately, I'm not saying he believed, I haven't talked to him for years, but Baron von Trump and, superheroes and, Tesla secrets and books. Up the thumb. What up, man? Sit up and take notice. Tell it like it is. Holy crap. That is very sad news. It's not surprising news if you're talking about Assange. What up? Yes, they are scumbags. What up, Slow News Day? Slow News Day show. We got to get Steve on this week. Steve, tell me when you're available. Shoot me a text. If not, I'll shoot you a text, and we'll get it done. Why would I thumbs it up when I have not seen the video yet? If I like the video, I'll thumbs it up. Stands are the worst. I don't know what that is. I don't know what stands. Is that some kind of self-promotion thing? I'm sorry. I'm trying to, work the magic here and get people to see the stuff. Hey, Steve, we're going to back to D.C. on St. Patty's Day. Oh, are you? Interesting. I don't know if I can do another one in March. That's like it's like 5 weeks away right now. March 17th. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like 5 weeks for me to get on the road. Yikes! I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. But then again, maybe some footage of a militarized D.C. would be good. Yep. I thought that Trump would have freed Julian. He had every opportunity. He had every opportunity to drop the case, to pardon him for past any past perceived crime. He could have done something. And he didn't. What? Why aren't you pronouncing you're important? What? What is going on here? Your T's in important? I'm sorry if you don't like the way I talk, JNNX. Cool. Hey, Jason, what's the best way to send you any kind of news? I know people must be sending you a lot daily. Christine, I know we're friends on Facebook, and I don't get to every Facebook DM, and I don't want to tell people to flood me because sometimes I do get flooded. I miss a lot, but I do see your posts. So if you would like to hit me up there, there's a good chance that I would read it there. But I appreciate it. Thank you. And I do get a lot of stuff. It's hard to answer everything or even open everything. I want to go to D.C. for St. Patty's. Do you, Doom? Man, you should go meet the guys. Go help them out. How are you able to still detain Julian at Belmarsh? I still don't see how that is possible because they denied him bail. And it looked like throughout the entire time, as Steve covered it live, that they were going to extradite him. And then a surprise decision that upheld everything relevant to the United States actually extraditing him and saying that he had committed these horrible espionage-like treasonous crimes against the United States. It was a mental health issue. Don't get me wrong, talk about a Hail Mary. Like, that's not even a Hail Mary. That one, and it's not a good one. It's tough. This is what I would liken to. A totally fictional scenario, okay? It's like Tom Brady is in the Super Bowl this time, but he's down by 6. Okay, down by 6. And there's 3 seconds on the clock. They're at the other 1 yard line. Okay, they're at the other 1 yard line. Now, Brady lets go that Hail Mary. Okay, that Hail Mary. And The guy catches it, goes in for the touchdown, gets the touchdown. Now, as this happens, Brady gets tackled and goes up against the goalpost in a career-ending injury. Okay, career-ending. I mean, it's over. He's not getting up for the rest of the game, even though there's, they pretty much just got that gimme, right? It's a gimme time. So, career-ending injury, he'll never play again. Then they go up to the goal line for that gimme. It's blocked. Field goal, or not the field goal, but the extra point is blocked, and they end up losing the game. That's pretty much the ruling the judge gave. That's the setup, okay? And I know that was a long-winded analogy, but hopefully that's what you're tuning in for, that special brand of Jason Burmis jackassery that puts it into perspective. What are your predictions for the next 3 months in the United States? Not good things. Good things in Iowa, hopefully. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm pretty happy where I am. I'm glad I chose this area. I can say that. Let's see. What caught that too, huh? Oh, that I don't pronounce the T's in my important. I say important, or it's too quick. I don't know. The girls don't like the way I say Mario. They're like, it's Mario. And I'm like, I like Mario. I'm going with it. I've been doing it my entire life. Wall was a big one when I was a kid. What can you do? Oh, now Sinja says it came from, or China says it came from frozen meat. Yeah, that's the new one. Yeah, but he pardoned Lil Wayne. And not only that, he pardoned people that committed real espionage against the country. Israeli spies that committed real espionage against the country. I mean, the Pollard thing that he did before he left office was abhorrent. And then, basically exonerating his handler after the fact was another big, it was almost like a thumb to the eyeball. Facebook is in league with Satan. They love that. Satan. Let's see. Yeah, it's funny how fast the WHO determined that looking any farther into the developed in a lab theory is a waste of time. Total waste of time. Henry, Hank, home run, Aaron. The official said if he could abscond to a country that would protect him. Yes. So in other words, they were just worried that in prison he would basically be able to commit suicide. John Kiriakou said he inquired about a pardon. It seemed you need a donation of $2 million. Yes. Kiriakou at first thought it was a joke, and then Giuliani left the table, and there was an aide there, and he talked about $2 million, et cetera, in some money laundering scam, basically. But who knows? Maybe you can buy a pardon for a cool $2 million. Al Qaeda, that's right. Raybos, that's right. The real domestic terrorists accuse others. COINTELPRO tactics. Just to start the conversation about your pardon, you need $2 million. It goes up from there. That's how you start the convo. It's a little convo. Convo couching. What up, Convo Couch? They got the old ban hammer on the donations and the super chats and the monetization. Really, Kirk, you don't feel like a domestic terrorist. Weird. That's odd. I'm glad that you don't. That's a good thing. Oh, we got a new super chat over there. The reason I continue to listen to Jason Burmis is his memory is superb. He can recall the facts for days. Well, thank you, Hebrew. I really do appreciate that. Hebrew, been here a while, and I appreciate the support, my friend. I really do. Couldn't do it without you guys. That's the bottom line. Let's see. God forbid he secures protection. Timeline is really starting to suck. Thank you, Steve, from Slow News Day. If you're not subscribed to Slow News Day, by the way, what are you waiting for? Late Night Live. Hey, Brigade. Hey, Eva. It was a pleasure meeting you and your family in D.C. On the way back from the Capitol. You know, the massive, crazy insurrection that was so crazy that we sat there and calmly took pictures as a crowd of hundreds walked by, really thousands overall, but hundreds at a time walked by us and, basically went home or to their hotels because D.C. put a lockdown notice in effect for 6 p.m. They didn't want the party to really start. They didn't want people to, have a good time afterwards. Instead, they wanted to persecute him in the media as though they had tried to violently overthrow the government and somehow take AOC's life, where she had flashbacks of sexual assault. By the way, I want to just say this. My video on that was so damn spot on before we knew she wasn't even in the Capitol building. And people were pissed. People were pissed that I did that. They're like, how could you? You're disparaging sexual abuse victims. I'm going, no, her trying to relate it to what happened in the Capitol, even if she was in the building, okay, disparages actual sexual abuse victims. And to equate the two is horrific. That's what I was saying. I don't know how you missed that point. I made it pretty clear. To be honest, I'm really not watching on Rockfin because they haven't granted me permission to be a creator yet. Well, I hope you get that permission. It takes a while sometimes. That's just Giuliani's cut? Maybe. What up, Brian? Biden's getting impeached already? Is he? I don't know. I know Majority swore she would try. Oh, you're talking about the actual impeachment. No, they had a whole hearing on Trump again today. They're really going to go with it. They're going. Yeah, nothing really fresh going on. How did the dinosaurs get so big? I've been traveling. Well, sir, I hope that you've been traveling well. What dinosaur has 500 teeth? I don't know, Nye. I have no idea. I don't know how long it takes the application process to come back. It really depends. They recruited me, so some people get it rather quick. Some people have to keep knocking at the door, I guess. Keep at it. Is Dan on Rockfin? I've been trying to get Dan on Rockfin. I'm going to have another conversation with Dan about getting on Rockfin. He told me he was about to get on there, and he's going to wish he had. And hopefully he will get on there eventually. And you can just tip when you have $2 to spare, not subscribe. Every little bit helps. That's true. Like, that's also what's really cool about Rockfin. You have the free account and you want to do a $2 tip. It's there. It's there. And we appreciate every little tip. I think they have 2, 5, 10, 20, and 100. And eventually it'll get down to where you could probably tip anything. And eventually we'll have the apps. But as you can see, you can't get too big too quick and have an actual business model or your parlor, and they'll just take away your servers. Took a joint to the tardies, if you get my spliff. Vanessa Doe says, so wrong. Let's see. Just sub to Dan. I agree. Teddy Rockspin. You like that? That was a good joke, huh? Salute the Marines, my buddy, and me. My buddy. Are you a frat bro kind of guy? You give me that vibe. I am in a fraternity. Although I did not join until I was a sophomore, second semester. And we were a local fraternity, 50 plus years. Made a lot of good friends in my life. In fact, right before the show, the Marine story and the explosives was texted to me by a fraternity member. I'm trying to get him out. We had Joe on, my boy Scanoni, when he came out here, and he was over in D.C. He's done some really interesting programs. He's also in my fraternity. And because I was in the college town way after I was in college, I'd have generations of these friends. So there's sometimes a 10-plus year age gap with some of these guys. Sometimes it's less. But even a lot of the older guys, I have a good rapport with and are friends with. But, I think that you join those things in order to make lifelong connections after college. Because if you don't stay in your high school town and your friends don't stay there, you don't really have those. Obviously, we all have our family, but that gets dispersed more and more. And I would say they are and have been, in so many respects, my family beyond a family. So glad I'm not a prophet monetized. They really got you by the short hairs. I go to sleep with a good guy doll these days. Nice, Neil. Let's see. Oh boy, enter the Hezbollah white supremacists. You know it. Yep. I'm not a prophet either, but I love profit. Yucca, yucca, yucca. It pushes the lotion in the basket. Might get the hose again. They make Bill Gates dolls. Are you asking? Chucky is running the show now. Regarding your last AMA, the international travel roadblocks, James Corbett featured Freedom Airway, a prospective workaround to resume international travel without the vax, without masks, without a test. Interesting. The media lotion on the skin. That's it. I'm dead. Well, Wendy, I'm glad that you like that. Oh, God, we're in for a ride. I'll be your prophet for some profit. Thank you. Hebrew, thank you very much. YT's, YouTube's, the only platform with 144p feed. The only option for people with slow internet. Well, don't worry. You can get Elon Musk's for a cool $500 now. No matter where you live, you can get the equipment. You can get up Starlink. It's there. I just watched Linus Tech Tips review on it. He actually got pretty good speeds, but then again, he's in an interesting area. But the option, although not there for everybody yet, will come to you, and it's outside of like HughesNet or dial-up or all those things for rural people. There are even workarounds for that too. If you can get band 71 LTE coverage and hotspots, and you got to go a long ways, but you can do it. It was pretty funny today. Temple was blaming Luke for still being shadow banned. Who's Temple? I don't know who Temple is. We've been on a ride. How many militia has anyone ever actually met? Correct, Brian. On Tim Pool. Tim Pool thinks he's shadow banned because of Luke. He's saying that. Let me go back to that. It was pretty funny today. Tim Pool was blaming Luke for still being shadow banned. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say there. You think Luke's scary. I might be a little bit scarier on that platform. I believe Corbett's main YouTube channel is backup. Yes, I do believe so too. Sounds like WMD's at home. He's referring to those missing military explosives, everybody. Yeah, a year later, exactly. The narrative is clearly setting up a false flag domestic terror incident that they'll blame on constitutionalists, anti-lockdown, anti-5G, etc., to crack down on freedom fighters and the people. Spelljacker is my nemesis. I don't know what that means. Dun, dun, dun. Whoa, that was a big old jump. We got the big old jump. Thumbs the video up, subscribe, share. Can we get 200 thumbs up? Can we do it? Can we do it? Wow, that's a big jump. Wow, look at all that. Okay, there we go. Nice. Cass Sunstein has a heart on. That's all I'm saying. We did the Cass Sunstein AMA broadcast, trying to make people familiar with that. LOL has to be the only reason why Wuhan could be over it by now. I'm so stoned right now. Well, Brian, God bless you. God bless you, sir. They did it all for the love. How are they going to explain the natural sequences or the non-natural sequences in the virus? What non-natural sequences? These aren't the droids you're looking for. Come on, dude. Hunter Biden? What laptop? There's no scandal, Mr. No. This is 60 Minutes. No. Leslie, they spied on my campaign. No, sir, no. No, there's no evidence of that. Let's see. And me, despise them. Scumbags. Pink slime. Some pink slimeage. Yeah. Some Mickey D's, anybody? People must realize it's a war between global government and citizens. Let's see. I thought they hadn't isolated the virus. Try Campbell's new Manhattan-style bat chowder. Yummy. They are beginning the corporate government model in Nevada. Buckle up. Yikes. I saw that. That's something I do have to cover. That's a story I haven't covered yet that I did see that, again, just kind of fell by the wayside, where there's a bill to allow corporations to form governments in Nevada. Bad idea. Bad idea. Bad idea. Did I mention that's a bad idea? Hey, guess what? Bad idea. Let's see. You can't do that on television? What, is Alistair McAllister here? Is Alanis here? Love me some You Can't Do That on Television. I showed somebody that My buddy Tyler and his girlfriend, and they're about 10 years younger than me, so they had no idea it even existed. Totally different generation. And I was showing them how it was like this weird SNL type daytime show for kids with sketches, and that Alanis Morissette was on it, etc. So it's if you don't know about it, you can't do that on television. I remember. Used to be my favorite. And my mom wouldn't let me watch it. It was edgy. Campbell's used to make, turtle soup. Are you pro-LGBT, Jason? What does that mean exactly? Do I think humans should be able to live their lives freely and love who they want? Sure do. And I noticed that you didn't put QLMNOPO. Listen, you do your whole thing. Again, I think at one level, your chromosomes are your chromosomes. And I also think that this fluidity and the sports stuff is nonsense. However, I have no problem with you as an adult being with another adult in any kind of relationship. That's your thing. Why would I care about that? It's ridiculous. Like, again, if you believe in freedom, right, I don't see how you could possibly have a problem with somebody who's in love with another adult human being and having that relationship and staying out of your life. So, yeah, in that respect, a million times over. You do your thing. I'm in Facebook jail for posting a Lee Camp video. Yeah, really? Live stream for 7 days. Yikes. Yikes. Spell check. The friends foe of miniature keyboard users. So whatchamacallit. I'm terrible. Did I misspell something on this one? Very possible. Yeah, the corporate government city that Dabu reported on is ridiculous. Their own law and tax codes, another Vatican City entity for the technocracy. Let's see. Citizenship is granted to be free is the only way. I don't know what that means. Is granted to be free is the only. I don't know. Okay. So citizenship is granted to be free is the only way. Okay. No boop. No boopity boop. No one cares who you sleep with. Correct. Tim Pool YouTube his opinion of Cuomo indirectly murdering old people, cited ProPublica's piece on the matter. I did this. What's this? He did this while he had Heshi Tischler on. Oh, wow. Who is a living legend. Yes, he pushed back big time with the Hasidic communities. We did big stories on that. Good for him. Let's see. Loads of care homes in UK are having problems. UK column. Let's see. I debunked your bunk bed. Now you've got 2 twin beds. What are you going to do with 2 beds? They both won't fit in your small room. Debunked. Look up the blockchain LLC video on it. He only lists 2 of the 5 stakeholders in the project for Nevada. Carl Jung said that the human soul is Christian. Social Darwinism can suck a D. Damn, he got you, Burmis. He did. That was a bed debunking. Reinventing the company town, Nevada teases self-governing innovation zones for big tech businesses with own taxes and courts. You got to wonder if a guy like Peter Thiel and his buddies aren't behind something like that, huh? Just throwing that out there. You know what? Let's go check the Go Get funding because we might be wrapping it up soon, guys. Probably another 5 minutes or so. I will check it one more time before we go, but I want to thank everybody who has contributed this month, by the way. My flippin' doctor said he has not heard any bad reports. He was hurt. I'm severing legal contact. Interesting. Funny story, my medicine is chronic. Bop, bop, bop. Definitely the company town. I owe my soul to the company store. I sold my soul. That's a great, the 16 tons Amazon South Park intro. Wow. 16 tons. Great song. Let's see. I know my Savior lives. They wore masks due to the 1918 pandemic. Oh, yep, they did. A couple people. I mean, not as extensively as now. I know there's a couple photo ops, but you got to understand that even the flow of information in 1918 was such. Do you think the entire nation, no matter where they were wearing that? Yeah, I mean, there was still native land in a lot of places that weren't reservations, my friend. I love truth and art. 8 women stillbirthed their kids within 24 hours. Burst or lost. Over 20 women that were octogenarians, passed within 24 hours. I don't know if that's true. I still birthed. You got to even spell jack, all that stuff. You got to do something better than that. I don't know. I don't know where to go with that. The difference was being a pandemic. Man, bear, pig is real. Well, if you believe in imagination land, everything is. Rare, freaky blood disorders. Yep, everything I got in 2004. Blood, white count, 2000. Man, I don't know, Ember, what that screaming in pain. I missed that. The planetary filing system is a decentralized internet. It's slow, but it's much more difficult to be censored. Jason, HR 127, I don't know what that is. Makes me want to spread it on my breakfast toast. Breakfast toast, yummy. Everybody loves breakfast toast. Let's see. So if it's in the frozen meat, like the World Economic Forum says, less meat. They're already telling us. Less meat, tasty treats. You'll eat less, and you'll love it. You'll own nothing. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. That's going to be the wrap for me. I want to thank everybody who did give to the GoFundMe. I want to thank you guys that are subscribed, thumbing everything up. I want to remind everyone that all the documentary films are free. Shade the Motion Picture, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, Fabled Enemies, and Loose Change Final Cut. Right now, right here in the playlist section. Make sure you've made that free account. Let's get it to 12,000, 15,000, 30,000. Let's make this the platform of choice, rockfin.com. Make that free account. And if you do support me with the $9.99, I can't thank you enough, but you do get everybody's content. So many great creators on there. Whitney Webb, Sloan Newsday, Convo Couch, Nico House, Graham Elwood, and so many more, including Jimmy Dore. I love you guys. It's not about left or right. It's always about right and wrong.